Good afternoon and welcome back to the Hood Table to all my hoodies. Please make sure you like and share the video and subscribe to the Hood Table if you are not already subscribed. This afternoon, I am going to be delivering you some very heartbreaking and unbelievable, hard to understand news. A little over a week ago, on the evening of July 28th in Baltimore County, two children were found dead in the trunk of a car. Shortly after 11 p.m. that evening, county police officers saw a car speeding, and so they pulled the driver over at Eastern Boulevard near Wagner's Lane in Essex. The name of the driver is Nicole Michelle Johnson. When they pulled her over, they realized she also had fake tags and registrations and no driver's license. And so they started writing her traffic citations and telling her that she would have to appear in court within 5 days. But to her, it didn't matter because, according to police, she said, "Y'all won't find me around anyway because I won't be here much longer. I'll be gone in 5 days, and y'all will see me making a big debut on the news." Officers then noted that they smelled something really horrid, like a very strong, foul smell, as they approached the car. And then when Johnson started retrieving items and unloading items from the car because of the fact that her car was going to be towed for all the violations, they soon discovered what the smell was. In the trunk of the car, Nicole Johnson had two decomposed bodies, two children, siblings, a little girl and a little boy, her niece and nephew. And before we go on, take a quick look at this short video clip.
Police officers finding the bodies of two children last night during a traffic stop in Essex, Maryland. That's Baltimore County. Officers pulling the car over last night on Eastern Boulevard near Wagner's Lane when they found the two children. The bodies have been taken to the medical examiner's office. The driver of that car arrested.
That was just a short clip of the news story of this situation that we are referring to. And again, in the back of the trunk of her car, Nicole Johnson had the bodies of her 7-year-old niece, Jocelyn Johnson, and the body of her 5-year-old nephew, Larry O'Neill. They were severely malnourished. The little girl only weighed about 18 pounds, and the little boy weighed under 20 pounds. A 7-year-old weighing 18 pounds, and her younger brother, a 5-year-old, weighing 20 pounds. Now, y'all know I have a brand new grandson. He is only 3 months old, and he already weighs like 15 pounds. I can't imagine a 7-year-old weighing 18 pounds. According to Johnson, in May of 2020, last year, she had repeatedly hit her niece over the head until her niece fell and hit the floor. She then allegedly put the child in a suitcase in the trunk of her car. Then Johnson claimed just a few short months ago, her little nephew, Larry, went to sleep after feeling tired and never woke up. That's what she claims. She then put his body in a tote in the trunk next to his sister. So ever since May of 2020, this lady has been driving around with the decomposed bodies of her niece and nephew in the trunk of her car. Now, just a little backstory on this entire situation. The mother of both of the children, her name is Deshelle Johnson. And evidently, she has some issues in the past. She had moved from Ohio, where she was living with her aunt and uncle. And then her aunt had passed away. She then moved to Baltimore, Maryland, and lived with her mother, Michelle. According to Michelle Johnson, her daughter Deshelle and her two children had moved in with her in late August or early September of 2019. And then they moved into a motel with Nicole Johnson. But by November, according to Michelle, Deshelle had moved out with a man at a hotel nearby in the area and then left the children with Nicole. Now, when the children were back in Ohio, they were enrolled in public school. But there is no records of them ever being enrolled in any schools in Baltimore County. And according to Michelle, her daughter Deshelle had moved back to Ohio for a short moment, but then returned to Baltimore and moved in again with her mother. At that time, Deshelle was pregnant with a little baby girl and gave birth to her on November 16th of last year. But every time her mother, Michelle, asked her about the other two children, Deshelle had no idea where they were, how they were doing, which obviously upsetted her mother, Michelle. Now, one of the children's fathers, Larry, the father of little Larry, has said that he had attempted over the last few months to get custody of his son when he gets out of jail. Right now, he's currently locked up for drugs. Larry D. O'Neill Jr. said despite a custody agreement allowing him to see his son every week, he always struggled with visitations. The 25-year-old said Deshelle had always kept his son away from him and that she was never a mother to the child. She would instead leave the children behind with family, usually with Evelyn, her aunt who had passed away. And when leaving her children with her aunt, she would go out and hang out with her friends. And over the past few months, when Larry and his girlfriend was deciding how they were going to get custody of his son, little Larry, once he was released, that entire time he had no idea that his son had been dead. Y'all, this story is so tragic. I just can't understand what could have happened. What went wrong here? Now, I've had read where they said that Nicole had suffered from some mental issues, but what about the mother, Deshelle? How could you leave your children at a hotel with your sister and move into another hotel nearby with a man and then move out of town, get pregnant, move back into town, still never check on your children, all your family members, your mothers, the child's father, asking about the children, their whereabouts, and you have no idea. It definitely seems like Nicole wasn't the only one with mental issues because you have to be having something seriously wrong with you in order to do that as a parent. 33 years old, Nicole Johnson, she was arrested. She's facing multiple criminal charges, including first degree child abuse that resulted in the death of the children under the age of 13. Again, both of the children were malnourished. When the autopsy was done, the little girl, they said, weighed 18 pounds. 7 years old, weighed 18 pounds. And again, the 5-year old boy, little Larry, weighed 21 pounds. Baltimore County is grieving over these children, along with a lot of us across the world. Please keep these children's family in your prayers, the ones that really did care about these children. And I do hope that they will give both Nicole and Deshelle as much time as possibly allowed. I will be keeping my eye on this story, and anytime some information comes at me, some updated information, some more details on this story, I will come to you and present what I have found out on this situation. In the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and as always, keep it hood.